Hello again. I got one more thing I want to go over today, and it might be something sort of might sound stupid to some people, but it's important to understand how projects work in any software, really. So I'm not even going to record anything right now. I'm just going to show you when you go to well, I guess let me go ahead and put in an instrument and just, I don't know, add a few notes. Okay. So we got some notes in there. I'm going to hit play. I have no idea. Okay, yeah. Anyways, forget that. I've got a track. I've got some notes in there. My project's set up. I can do something like change some of these settings on this instrument and close out these other windows as not to confuse you. And I'll do my regular setup here. So everything I've done so far in this project is part of the project save file once you save it. So if you go to project, the first thing you want to do once you start a project in LMMS is go to project, save as. So this is something that a lot of people might not understand about computers, so I want to clearly explain it. When you hit save as, you're creating a new save file essentially, and you're giving it a name. But this is just saving the project and all of the settings and all of the notes and things like that. So it's going to save like a LMMS file, if you want to call it that, an LMMS project file. So I'm going to hit save as, and I'm going to just call this test. And you can see the file type is an LMMS project. A lot of software does this, especially software that you're working on a project inside of. It has its own sort of project format. So whenever I hit save, now it's going to save this project file and name it as test. And you can see it said project saved at the bottom. Now I can close this. It's not going to prompt me to save it again. I'm going to go to my file explorer and make my way over to that file. It's under PC, C, users, myself, LMMS, projects. And you can see this is the test project that I saved. I can actually open this up and it'll open it up in LMMS. So let's do that. So you can see I did that and it loaded up the project exactly the way that it was when I saved it. So now if I make an update to the project, add a couple more notes. And that's a lovely song. So now when I want to save this project again, I don't want to hit save as unless I'm saving a different version of the project, which is interesting because they also have a save as new version, so I'm not sure what that's for. Ignore that for now. We're just looking at save and save as. Once you have a project and you're not going to have multiple versions of it or anything, after you initially do a save as, you just want to hit save now. Because when you hit save, you're just updating the current project to have the new information. The shortcut for saving is also Control S. So I changed some things. I'm going to hit, and you can see the little star up here by the name. That means that there's some pending changes. Once I hit Control S to save, that star will go away. So there we go. I just did it. There's no more star. That star just lets me know, hey, I have some unsaved changes. Well, let's say I'm like, hey, I did this song and my friend wants to do a different version of it or something, right? So then I'm going to go to project and I'm going to go to save as again. And we'll maybe test out save as new version later. But I'm going to hit save as again. And instead of naming it test, I'm going to say test. For Mikey. So this is going to be, now Mikey can load this up on his computer as in his own project, and he won't mess up my project. This one, I'm saving a different version of it because Mikey wants to do his own work on the project. We're not collaborating on it. He just likes it and he wants to put his own flavor on it. So I'm going to hit save. And now I have my own project, which is test, and then I have Mikey's project, which I'll email to Mikey later. And sometimes you'll notice like these little files right here called backup or .back. This is usually files that are open or like saved, like temporary files that are there for when you're working. So this may or may not go away, but that is the it's just there. Don't worry about it. So yeah, now you can see it's actually, since I did a save as and I saved it as test for Mikey, as soon as I do that, that becomes the current project that I'm working in. I don't want to work on Mikey's project. I set it up for him, but I don't want to work on his project. So I want to go back to mine. So I can just go to project, and I can go to open, or I can go to recently opened, and I can just load up my test project. So now you can see I'm on my own project now, test, and I can just put some more notes in. And you can see the star there again. If I hit Control S, star means unsaved changes. I'm gonna hit Control S, and now you can see that my changes have been saved. So every time I save this project from here forward, as I'm doing my own work on it, I can just hit Control S to save. I'm just going to do one more thing though. I want to check out what this save as new version means. So let's give that a shot. Interesting. Okay, so it's like a quick way to save your project instead of like naming it something else, like Mikey's project. It's the same thing as save as, but instead of you having to give it a name, it just automatically gives it a name. So you can see that it tagged on a 01, and now my current project is test-01, and it's a different version of the project. I don't really want that. I just wanted to show you what it does, and now I understand. So I'm actually going to go back to my projects recently, and then reopen my main test project here. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that with you guys and show you that that's kind of important to know for when you're saving. Make sure you always save, and just don't forget, because if your computer crashes, you're going to be mad at yourself. All right, that's it.